Sorry for the late start, guys. I was counting ballots. Just kidding. Alright. Go Nevada. What's happening with Nevada, bro? Alright. I don't know, but the Democratic campaign in Nevada needed a little more pep. So, we're taking challenges here, Rapid Chess. If you'd like to challenge me, you are welcome to do so. 7+5 casual. We have a 2-hour stream. So I've got puzzles to warm up with. Let's do a puzzle. Ooh, that's a lot of space Black's got going on here. Dude, this doesn't look like a hard puzzle. I mean, how many, like, possible moves could you have when you're this compacted? I literally have, like, 2 candidate moves here. Thank God for easy puzzles. Like, Rook takes d5 is the only move. Why have a puzzle where, like, the answer is so obvious it's the only candidate move you've got? That's pretty sad, actually. I mean, the only other candidate move really is Rook b1. Maybe it's a trick. Rook b1 is so unforcing that it can't be the solution. It's like Rook b1, h6, there goes that threat of Rook b8 check. Actually, Rook b1 doesn't work at all because he has Rook c8. So the answer literally has to be Rook takes d5. Maybe it's more complicated. So the problem is, Rook takes d5, pawn takes e3, Rook takes d7. Doesn't look that clear. What's up, Husky? Thanks for the challenge. Guys, I'm leaving on Monday for the World Senior Championship. This is our last week streaming. We're gonna have a little break, and I'll try to do some recaps. Unannounced streams from Italy if my internet, and I don't know how good my internet connection will be. That'll be contingent on that. What's the solution here? Rook takes d5, pawn takes e3. Doesn't look good enough. Rook takes d7, pawn takes f2 check. King h2. Rook takes d7. Rook takes d7. And I'm threatening checkmate with Rook d8. I'm not threatening anything, actually. I'm not threatening mate. Alright, let's take Husky's challenge. I'm up on 25.99 in puzzles. Wow. Going for 2,600. You see any solution there, Acerbate? I couldn't come up with a candidate move other than Rook takes d5. So here we have very few options. GM what? Rook takes e5, illegal. You mean Rook takes d5? Yeah. But I'm having trouble with that puzzle. So what are we going to do here? Exchange variation of the Queen's Gambit. I don't play much these days, but I used to. In the old days. Very long time ago in a far, far distant galaxy. I got bored of the kind of the trolls that would show up on my stream making combative comments. I mean, no, I got bored of the pawn structure here. H6. Right, that's a variation. What are you gonna do, like knight H5 or something? Modern chess. They didn't play this back in the old days. They go for like knight H5 to trade pieces, I guess. Okay, like, how big a deal is that? I'm not a fan of H6 in general in the exchange variation. I've talked about this numerous times, but I think in this position it might specifically be a move, depending on what white set up. White goes for in terms of castling kingside or queenside. Maybe he knows what he's doing. I never play the exchange variation, so kind of forgotten if this is a thing or not. Unfortunately, knight b4 is not permissible. Okay. If you play knight h5, I go bishop takes e7 or bishop g3. I was thinking bishop g3, taking back with the h pawn. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, man. I'm out of book. Are you making this up, or is this like a real thing for black? I honestly don't know. If h6 and knight a6 is... I don't know, man. Stomp those trolls. You're making it up, okay. No, I don't know, you know. Maybe h6 is a thing. I know the early knight h5 is common. I guess like combining that with knight a6 is weird. f3. f3. The bubble pawn, bubble T. Trying to wake up today. Yesterday was rough, but slept a little better last night. Mornings are not easy for me. That's why I like going to a chess tournament where it's like 11 rounds and every game is in the afternoon. That's a chess tournament. That's my idea of a chess tournament. I mean, you could get drunk out of your mind the night before and still live to like play the next day at 3 in the afternoon. Not that I'm going to do that. I'm just saying, you know, those are real chess tournaments. If you can stay out all night until like 3 o'clock in the morning and still make it to the round the next day, I don't do that anymore, but I'm just saying it's a good measure of a good chess format, a good tournament format. You can party all night and still make it to the round the next day. Alright, what about rook d1? An interesting idea. Prophylaxis. Castle's queenside. Yeah, Husky has certainly got a unique perspective on this line. Hey, it's Miro. He's not known as Hey, it's Master. So if e4, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, knight g4, we have a problem. We gotta get you a PC. We gotta have like a raffle or something. Raise money for checkmaters to get a PC. So he doesn't have to like text his comments in here. We'll make it happen, bro. Or something. I'm going to I love you too, but not like that. I'm still frustrated about my misclick. Oh, gotta get it out of the system. If you're frustrated about a game, the best thing to do is take out your frustrations on like, you know, somebody in Blitz and like forget about it. If you like never ever like end your chess playing on a loss and then go to sleep and like you gotta win a game to regain your confidence. But you played more games after that, didn't you? Or you didn't like it? You did. That wasn't your last game, so you should let it go. Let it go. It's a misclick. I mean, I lost to Aldisto in a pawn up rook ending. I was pretty bummed about it, but shit happens. That was my worst, like, beginner choke in an ending in a long time. It wasn't the fact that I lost, really. It was the fact that I played so stupidly the whole endgame. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to suppress the sneeze. Sneezing on stream is not attractive. So what do I do here? We don't panic. He got in c5. What a weird situation. Never seen anything quite like this. I've never seen anyone play the black side of an exchange variation really quite like this. What do I do? Take? Man, that doesn't seem right. You can never go wrong with King H1. Not what I was anticipating. I'm fat. Fatter than I should be. Nothing wrong with that, though. No fat shaming here. Aster, you went to the first school that did like phonics, right? In the early to mid 70s. Alpha Phonics program. Experimental phonics. Okay. Oh my god, I almost clicked on more time. Like, he needs more time. Husky just like makes random moves. I have bishop b5. The first experimental phonics program. Bishop b5 is just like Very artificial. Artificialist. You know, I have a problem just like making a decision. I mean, what the hell is my plan here? Just making random moves. When in doubt, make random moves. I can't just make random moves. This was not really the plan. I'm going off piste. No, that's different. Alright, that's different. You need stronger coffee. Good morning, Sage. Another phone texter. Am I a Sage? My dog was Sage. Actually, Checkmaters is one of the only people who met my former dog that's ever like been on the stream. Unbelievable. You met my former dog. He met Sage, the dog. The inspiration behind my screen name on Twitch. Wow, knight d7. Who would have thought it? I thought Rook f8 was a sure thing here. And this guy is saving time by like making unpredictable moves. Very unpredictable. I'm forced now to make quick random moves. Jockeying for position. I just really didn't want to free his position by exchanges, and plus it's his good bishop. You can't try to play perfect chess and blitz. It's important to be practical. I'm not practical enough. What's up, B-Jock? My time management. Yeah. No bad pieces. Look, Ma. Taking is an option. Too much beer. I might add one beer. I know you're talking about you. You're talking about you, and I'm talking about me. They're mutually exclusive. Man, Husky is... I've got to go to the World Championship on Monday for old people. And, I gotta rest up. I mean, I was thinking of playing poker on Saturday night, but I really shouldn't. I should just save my old people energy for next week. A lot going on, though. We've got a lot going on. Which way do we take here? Knight takes, pawn takes was the plan. You were good at one point. Uh-oh. Have you talked to a therapist? Checkmaters. At some point. I'm legally like bound by law to say that I don't have a medical degree or even a master's in psychology. So if I act as a therapist, I can't I can't dispense, like, prescriptions, anything like that. But I empathize with you, you know. You think you were good at one point. How do you think I feel? That's the story of my life. Actually, the story of my life is like I was almost good at one point. Like, man, Husky is super time, man. Story of my life. I was almost a contender. It's literally playing Alice though. We have the bullet pace. How's this pawn structure? Intensity. Chess intensity. Wow. You gotta admit, like, that knight h5 check would have been awkward. I would have to play, like, king g4 or something. I let you know when it's draw. That's the... Oh no. The Gingy. Oh no. I mean, it probably is a draw, but I mean, white is better. It's not like a horrible draw offer. That a lot of people offer draws in like terrible positions. I think he's truthfully only a tiny bit worse. Maybe he's not worse at all. Not a totally inappropriate draw offer. I'm not like... I get angry with some people because they're just like out of control. They offer draws in like clearly worse positions. A reasonable draw offer. But I'm still better. There's a carp. I keep wanting to say Karpov all the time. Gotta stop that. Very little info on Karpov. New York Times had a blurb, but apparently there's so little information, there's like nothing to report. He fell and hit his head. That's all we know. They said he's doing well enough to complain about the hospital food. Imagine like hospital food in Russia is even worse than like Western hospital food. When my mom was in the hospital, I mean, hospital food has come a long way. You know, they had like a menu you could order from. Yeah, at this point I think I'm just wasting my time. Too blocked. Maybe I was never winning. I was just slightly better. Modern hospitals even have, good hospitals have menus. You could like order a burger. Alright, cheesy noob. Cheesy noob. I was in a French hospital. Funny, I spent the night in a French hospital. I don't remember eating anything when I was there. Alright, cheesy noob. Yeah, I'm not surprised it was +2 for white. I was definitely better. Cheesy noob. Hey, it's Miro. Who wants to go first? Yeah, I mean, I was close. It was like one of my typical. That's like one of my tournament games. I'll get like +2 and like lose or draw at best. I mean, okay, a lot of games are +2. You know, at the highest levels, and people don't win. It's kind of typical. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know exactly. I don't think I can claim I was winning. This is an interesting move order. I just time checkmakers out for fun. He's kind of a troll. But his heart's in the right place. An old friend of mine. Sort of. Not a close friend, but a friend. What are we gonna do? It's the Schlechter Slav. I still count him as a friend. Even if he is he's provoking me all the time. If he's a provocateur, why do I feel so shitty all the time? I hate getting old. Alright. You guys remember when I was 39? Pre-brain fog. Brain fog like kicks in around 45. Wow. I'm tempted to play pawn takes pawn. Why? B6 weakens his queen side. He's going for the same sort of setup as our last opponent. We could play this, man, in a very boring way. Actually, Cheesy Noob likes knights better than bishops. Yeah, that was a weird game, Husky. Like, you played very erratically, but you got a reasonable position at some point. It was back and forth. I'm not very well focused this morning. What does this remind me of? Exchange Slav, right? What the hell is my plan here? H4. Check. honestly, the computer will like freak out with bishop takes f6. If I run this through an engine after the game, it's gonna be like really pissed at me for playing bishop takes f6. I'm certain that's not White's best move. I just don't know what to do. The hall monitor pass. What do you guys think about this position, actually? I feel like something counterintuitive. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You know, this is kind of weird because it could potentially be a very bad bishop. But since he has the bishop pair, it makes sense for me to trade bishops. Even though I'm trading my good bishop for his bad bishop, it's still like trading bishops, period. Puts me in a situation where the dynamic favors White. Bishop takes d7. I have a lot of interesting possibilities. Knight e5. Crazy idea here of sacking a piece. Queen b3, e6, knight takes d5. Pawn takes d5, queen takes d5. Bishop takes b5 is a problem. And then he has too much play. Queen a8. I don't know. Castle's queenside. Does not constitute a plan. Knight pair. Split minors. Aspie, come invent new like terminology with me. Off-suited minors. Offsuit minors. Rook c1, e6. There's also the possibility of changing my mind here. Although bishop g4, that's a thing. The thing. a4 exclam. Doesn't do anything. a4, a6. I mean, it would get him to weaken his queenside slightly. There's just no clear plan. No clear plan. h4. Knight d5 is too extreme. It's playable, but it's too risky. Black's bishops would be pretty scary. I'd have to castle queenside. You'd have two pieces for the rook in. Did you guys hear about the news this morning that at some U.S. airport, suspect was apprehended for trying to smuggle a handgun in a raw chicken carcass? In their like hand baggage. Like, that's pretty strange, honestly. I know like the holidays are coming up, and man, that's demented. Who in their right mind would put like a handgun inside a chicken? I mean, they put it in like a bag, and then inside, you know, the empty part of the chicken carcass, like they stuffed it with a gun. Like that's gotta be pretty weird. Like you're sitting there at TSA or whatever, scanning the bags, and there's this like, the X-ray machine comes up with like a chicken. First of all, you know, it's not every day you get like a raw chicken going through the scanner. But a raw chicken with a gun inside. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. Yeah, I'm sure they've seen all kinds of crazy stuff, but that's gotta take the cake. I wonder if anyone's ever like tried to like smuggle like a human body part, you know? Like you're scanning the luggage and there's a human head in somebody's duffel bag at airport security. Guys, can I get some backup here? There's a human head. I'm sure they get stuff like dead cats all the time. That's standard. Time. I'd really like to meet the guy who tried. I'd like to meet the person who tried to smuggle a gun in their raw chicken. It must have been part of some kind of satanic ritual. He was preparing for a... No, the chicken's already been sacrificed. It's hard to explain that, honestly, under any circumstances. I failed. CheesyDube is a genius. I got nothing again. You're not surprised? Yeah, I'm not surprised it was in Florida either. That is not surprising. It would be surprising if it was somewhere like New Hampshire or Delaware. Florida? Nah. Par for the course. Dude, I guess I need that square. This is a really boring position. Just want to say that. I apologize for not playing weird openings today. You guys let me... I think the problem is that I didn't put it in the title for the stream. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Weird openings Wednesday. Normally, we're playing unusual stuff. Honestly, I intended to. Chicken tenders. But apparently, like, all the TSA agents were joking about it, like, because Thanksgiving's coming up. There's a lot of Thanksgiving-oriented jokes. Why a chicken, not a turkey? I guess he figured, like, you know, if the chicken doesn't get flagged, you might as well put a gun in it. I'm not sure how that logic works. Oh man, everyone is so fast. Another draw. No harm, no foul. They were playing on words like that. So I have a question, like, what happens in that case? I mean, are you guilty of a crime? I mean, like, Madison Cawthorn was constantly trying to, like, get on planes with weapons in his bag. So I guess that's not in itself necessarily a problem. There's nothing wrong with, like, trying to sneak a gun on your flight, but if you put it inside of a raw chicken, it's probably there's probably some, like, criminal charge for that. Obviously, you know, if it was, like, international, you'd be in big trouble trying to smuggle, like, agricultural products, like. But I assume it's a domestic flight. You know, you can take a raw chicken over state lines. So maybe it's not even, like, a criminal act. I'm actually worse. Jesus Christ. How does Cheesy Noob play this well at 11 o'clock in the morning? How does anybody play this well at 11 o'clock? Both Husky and Cheesy Noob are Europeans. So their focus is amazing to me. I'm so foggy-headed. Cheesy Noob's scary in his ability to play so quick, too. He's actually better. Maybe not a lot better, but better enough that I have to be careful. Now it's a draw. Although black is a tiny bit better. I could lose this. A lot of people could lose this. Not just me. We've got a problem with the knight a4. That's pleasant. And all my pawns are on the wrong color. Good thing my knights can control both. It's a good thing they can control both colors, because our opponent here definitely has the light squares. Wow. Good thing I don't have a dark square bishop. Really got to get my knight out of here. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't really want all my pawns on the wrong color. It just kind of happened by accident. Jesus Christ. I'd like to see the performance for black here. At the end of the day, what his score is. Very good play by black. Now, the opening wasn't great, but that's par for the course for him. He plays really strange, very strange chess in the opening stage. Normally. I suspect drug use. Or way too much caffeine. Am I lost yet? Wow, king takes? Phew, we're out of the woods. Finally. Those woods were really scary. Still trying to lose. I'm still gonna lose this. Wow. Mr. Astrobate. Mr. Sister. I'm suspecting like cocaine use or some kind of very serious stimulant by Black. It's like he only wanted to draw, but he was better the whole time. Jesus Christ, dude, what are you taking? Can I take what he's taking? What kind of drugs are you on? Rapid game lost. Blitz game lost. 48 blitz games. That was like 5 days ago. 83 blitz games 5 days ago. Hasn't even played since then. Dude, what's the blitz rating? Check this out. Wait. Dude, look at his blitz rating. It was like 2,100. He went down to like 2,062 and then bam, 2,166. In 3 days, he went from 100 points up. Dude, what was this game? I almost lost. I should have lost. Yeah, he was never worse than negative 1.1 in the opening. I actually have a lost position. Only at the last minute. It's funny that my only lost position was when I thought I was completely safe. The moment that I thought I was completely safe and I had no way of losing, I like made the losing move. Literally. Just when you think it's safe to get out of the water, right? It's just like, bam. I thought at this point, like, there's no way I can lose now. I'm completely okay. And I was never lost the whole game until that moment. Yesterday I lost drawn rook ending. Nils says, can I tempt you to analyze my over the board game from yesterday? You can tempt away, man. Tempt away. I am easily tempted. I think analyzing game might help me to gain some level of consciousness. It was a really, really boring position. Nils with 800 bits. Thank you. We got the board leader. The leader of boredom. Nils. Computer will hate my bishop takes f6. I just want to see this. Gotta hate the Schlechter Slav, man. Check it out. B6 novelty. Like Erno Garabin. No, who played like this? There's the famous game, Rudolf Spielmann versus Garabin. Bishop takes f6 can't be right. H4. But H4 is like Mark Hebden style. It's the Barry attack. Rook c1, h4. Got it. I like this h4. I thought about it after bishop takes f6, but it doesn't have a lot of effect after h4, h5 here. You could do it, but it's not as scary for black. This is actually uniquely interesting. h4. b6 has got to be a mistake for black. Alright, Nils was white. Finally, a Nils game. He couldn't wait until tomorrow's stream. I want to see another game tomorrow, Nils. There's no excuse. You can't be here tomorrow? Do what all the cool kids are doing. Like, quit your job to become a chess master. Alright. We have a preview of tomorrow's stream. What just happened? Why did it do that? Why did it just like bring up the main page? It's really weird. Alright. I was white. Yes. Okay, I guess I should just like click on the board. Analysis board? I don't know. Dude, that's crazy. It's a bug? Did you see that? It did it again. I try to click on analysis board and it just like sends me to the main page. Is that just a ridiculous bug? We could do this a different way. No problem. I'll just make a study. No, actually, I need analysis board. Can I make this bigger? Can I just analyze it here? Why am I having trouble with this? Flipped board, analyze board, get PGN. View on lichess. View on lichess. Okay. Because I couldn't put an analysis board, and that doesn't work either. Oh, that's crazy. So this is a serious problem here. What is going on? Why can't I like access this? Can I get PGN? Alright. We'll have to do it the hard way. Copy. Tools. Analysis board. Thanks. We got it. Very deep. Alright. Nils, 800 bits. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sire. Analysis on Wednesday. Game analysis for Nils because he's special. Nils is white. This is an over-the-board game, I assume. PSA? It's a PSA announcement. Public service announcement is a PSA, Gina, just for your information. No, it's a personal service animal. I have an alligator. Oh, psychiatric service animal. All right. You can get it in Pennsylvania. You can get an alligator as your psychiatric service animal. I didn't know it was psychiatric service animal. Public service announcement. But Gina Rook thought it was about prostate surgery. Okay. So we got the Benoni with G6. Possible Benko. Delayed Benko if you play knight c3. In Alaska you can have pet alligator, crocodiles. No permit or anything required. Wow, that's insane. Because there's clearly a lot of crocodiles available in Alaska. G6. If there are any, they're probably running for Republican governorship or something. Alright, G6, knight c3. Yeah, you stop any kind of Benko with that move. I really don't see... I don't see any reason never... I wouldn't see any reason not to play knight c3 there. Bishop g7. X Huss. I stress the X. E4 d6. Oh, one of the people from Duran has stage 4 prostate cancer. Yeah, normally treatable. One of the more treatable forms of cancer. That's a positive thought. So Nils is playing bishop d3, e5. We're happy to see that move. Hopefully he's just moved on in a non-existential sense. Acerbate. Bishop d3, e5. Yeah, Nils, we're really happy to see this. This is the basically this is a check Benoni with the bishop on g7. You know, it's interesting setup you've got here with bishop on d3. I had this rival, a very strong player in Boston, who used to play this way with black, but he would use a different move order. But I never thought about playing bishop d3 against it. I think this is a good setup. You're normally going to go knight on gd e2 here. I mean, to be honest, like, you have various options. You can play it like a Bakaganov King's Indian with h3. I mean, maybe that's your best option here. You don't commit the knight to one square or the other, basically. I'm wondering about bishop g5 too. But if you played bishop g5, I think you want to have your bishop on e2 normally, like an Averbach. I still like h3 against these setups. You have an option for an early g4, which is probably mostly upside. There are some games with knight h5 here, but obviously then you're playing like knight e2. You know, it's okay, whatever. I mean, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with knight at gd2 though. You're just committed to knight e2. There's no option for knight f3. Black now goes castle. Yeah, so you see, like, h3 is the main move. We're transposing to a Bakaganov style King's Indian. Then black has one last chance to play knight h5. But I wonder if it's even good. You know, if he plays knight h5, you just go g4 anyway. Can you sack a pawn here? You see this Costa Rican guy, Leonardo Tristan? He's played here in Budapest, I think. He's like the best player in Costa Rica. Knight f4. You know, it's interesting. Maybe black has compensation for this pawn. It's not such a stupid idea. Anyway, I'm speculating a lot about possible variations. But alright, Nils you castle kingside. I don't think that's optimal, man. I mean, you got a big advantage here in terms of flexibility. You got to use everything you can, I think, to win in chess, and keeping the opponent guessing. The fact that you're not committed to castling and he is an advantage. So I think you should definitely use it. I mean, castling kingside, it's okay. It's not a bad move. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a conservative way to play. But I think you got to go h3. I'm not as in love with f3. I mean, with f3, we're just playing like a sort of normal, same-ish with our bishop, like on the wrong square on d3. I don't know about this. I mean, that doesn't seem great. Best case scenario, you know, we'll transpose to some kind of like typical same-ish with probably like a slightly inaccurate move order for white. So I think it's pretty clear at this point. After knight on g to e2, castles, you could play bishop g5, I guess. But I would definitely vote for h3. Castles is kind of solid, but not the most dynamic and very committal. But you really need to like ask Yasser Seirawan, man. I mean, he's the big expert on the knight on g to e2 style lines. Bishop d3. This is a Seirawan. For all intents and purposes, this is like a Seirawan variation, which I don't know very well. Yasser is the big expert with playing this against both the King's Indian and the Benoni. I have no experience here. So, I mean, one of the main things that you can play f4, but only under the right circumstances. I wouldn't play f4 unless black plays f5. So you see here, like some people played rook b1. I like this move. Pinter Jozef, friend of mine, and very briefly worked with me, helped me a little bit. I like rook b1 getting off long diagonal. It's like a waiting move. We're waiting for black to play f5, and then we'll commit to like take and play f4 probably. I would think you would take and play f4. Maybe it doesn't work here though, because takes, knight takes, bishop d4 check, king h1. Oh, I don't think we're getting mated. And we're better structurally. As long as there's no mate. Paddy bra PK. Well, I'm basically rook b1, you're just like waiting for black to make his play on the king side. Then we're going to do this blockade strategy. I guess you can also play, for example, rook b1, f5, and just f4 immediately. Computer, I think, was talking about this. Though I don't really get that necessarily. I guess here, takes. Not overly, impressed by white's setup there. So you played what? Bishop e3. You're basically transposing to a same-ish here. Black's got to play f5. Yeah, this is a kind of weird move, but alright, maybe it's not that bad. You're back playing chess, you probably don't remember me, it's been some months. Yeah, I forgot. Mihai Marin has a game from '05. He plays bishop d3 against the Benoni. So bishop e3. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously f5 is a critical move. So, you know, if your intention was to play like f3 or something, well, I don't know what black would do. You know, I mean, some people might push f4, but I'm on the fence about this. I don't know, like, if I like having my king on g1 with the king side closed down with the f4 here. I'd be really happy with white's position if my king was over on the other side of the board, but it looks like that not everyone would do that. I think you're not supposed to play f3 here, so you have to do what Marin did. You got some good players there, Marin and Farago, who are both very solid. G takes f5, and then I assume f4. Possible to play f3, but not as good, maybe. Yeah, this is what I wasn't sure about. Knight g3. Even that's possible. But anyway, your opponent makes kind of a weird move here, queen h4. This is weak. Though I don't know that it's relevant. You know, like you're just gonna go knight b5 and that's not a big deal right away, but it could be a point at some moment. I'm trying to understand exactly what does queen h4 do. I mean, you see there's games where people play like knight a6, developing a piece here, or obviously knight d7, you know, focusing on the e5 square. The main thing is, like, if white ever tries to play f4, he's going to get destroyed. Or you're going to get destroyed, I should say, because of the e5 square. This is a draw for white at best. Bijak does that a lot. He's in the audience now, but he often tries to play f4 in positions where, you know, probably objectively white is playing for a draw here. Because black's control of e5 is so good, all white can do is just hold. But I don't know. Queen h4 is a pretty weird move. So it's about controlling this. If you play g3, like, weaken your white squares. Pretty significant problem. First off, queen d2, yeah. I mean, so it's like, obviously, increasing control of f4, plus your threatening trap is queen with bishop g5. So, yeah. I mean, this is not a legitimate pawn sack. We're just down a pawn here with white at this point. He can't just go knight f4. And now f5 is out because of bishop g5 trapping his queen. So he's got a problem. It looks like, I mean, you just basically, to make a long story short, you refuted queen h4 with queen d2. So that's massive waste of time for black. Now, if you are black here and you realize you made a blunder, would it be more logical to put the queen on e7 rather than on d8? Yes, it would, but on the other hand, like, this rook can come here and maybe face off against the queen. But still, I mean, is white doing anything? You know what I mean? Ultimately, like, you should probably play this and play for b4. Yeah, so, I mean, the answer is that this is obviously better than queen d8. Queen d8 just blocks him on the back rank. Astrobate, wasn't it you who put the Alexander Alyakin quote the other day that said, you know, we shouldn't obstruct our rooks on the back rank? And now Niels played f4. But I think that f4 may just be like positional error. I mean, to put it mildly. we wait until he plays f5, then we take on f5, and then we play f4. Or possibly just f. So I think here is the place where the rook b1. It's always better to marry an older woman. They're more likely to have more money. Queen d8. Now rook b1. Yeah, but I mean, Nils, you're thinking too much, you know. You're thinking, you're too good for this kind of generalization. You know what I mean? Generalization is fine for teaching little kids and blitz games. But you're too advanced for, you know, thinking in terms of just generalizations. f4. Sumer does the same thing a lot. I mean, I was talking about this square. The problem is that like it's really hard to beat this kind of structure, honestly. And I understand why you know people don't like playing like rook b1 and b4, because it's like a very long process. For example, black plays knight a6, you play a3. I don't know, black plays knight c7, you play b4. Black plays b6, you take, he takes back with the pawn. Now we have to like make progress along this file here. Very hard, like tedious work for white. I will give you one idea though. In my experience, one very important concept is to sack on this pawn chain. I mean, you can't always do it, but I'm just saying, like, there are some circumstances where if you're given the opportunity, I mean, this type of thing where you can, like, sack for these two connectors, that can be very, very strong strategically. Obviously, it depends on the situation, but I'm just saying, like, it often looks like this pawn structure is, like, unbreakable, and you'll never do anything on the queen side. But if you have weapons like this in your arsenal, like sacking for the two connectors or something, you could get a lot going on. You know, obviously also there might be some sort of knight b5 and knight takes d6. Yeah, that, don't remind me. Don't remind me of the Nimzo game. Yeah, so it's funny. Nils, I think f4, black should take. You should take back, he takes back. You take. And now black tries to focus on the e5 square. There is a problem here for black. He can't play knight d7, and that's imagine if his queen is on e7 in this position. Just saying. Imagine the difference if his queen had been on e7. He would be able to just play knight d7, and you got nothing. You know, he's gonna go knight e5. This guy blundered with queen d8. Now if he plays knight d7, you take the pawn, he check, and then maybe tries knight e5, but he's down a pawn here. Oh no, you can't, he's sacking an exchange there. So let's see. Yeah, I mean this is fantasy probably. So you'd have to play rook e8. You got I mean, you've got really real attacking chances here. So after f4, pawn takes f4, knight takes f4. Maybe black has to consider knight f6 now, actually. And there's a problem here for you with the g4, so you have to play g3. And then black would have time, you know, to reorganize himself with like knight d7. Knight d7 and heading for this square. So there's ways for black to play it, but I don't really like f4. But, you know, I think again, like his best shot is to go here. After this, he forces you back into a good position, or where position where f4 made more sense. I think. Now you're totally logical to play f4. It's like you waited till he played f5 to play f4. Totally different situation, and I mean, you know, this is an interesting case when you get this sort of thing. You have pawn takes pawn. I mean, I saw a picture just like this the other day. He can't take with the pawn because the bishop takes c5. So this is typical. Now this square and white's better. You know, you're just like sitting on f4. Slight advantage to white, clearly. So you played rook a1. I mean, I think you should either take here. You know, you should probably take here. I mean, rook a1 might be okay, but I don't think it's the best move. And now, yeah, again, I think you're playing too much like based on generalizations. If you let my knight on f4, I'm gonna play knight d3 at some point. You're not a play knight d3 at some point if my knight's on e5 and it's gonna take your pawn on c4. For example, not easy to play knight d3 if your c4 pawn is attacked by a knight on e5, for example. You might have to defend the c4 pawn at some point. But knight d7, another solid looking generalized move, king h1. So I would say first off, you know, you probably need to calculate more. E takes f4, knight takes f4, now knight takes f4, and here we go. Bishop takes f4, bam, knight e5. And black seems okay after that. You know, you managed to like spoil your advantage. And though optically you have more space, I don't think it really means much here. Black is probably okay at this point. And on pawn takes f5, he has knight takes d3. So what's happening here? I think you have to do pawn takes f5. And now the question is, can he do this? The answer is yes. He can take. Yeah, but again, Nils, keeping the tension. There's no substitute for just sheer calculation. The generalizations are good, but you still have to mitigate that with like pure calculation more. You obviously have a good understanding of general fundamentals and principles, but it's not enough to take it to the next level. Queen takes d3, bishop takes f5. You know, and I don't think that you're worse here. Black has the bishop pair, but less space. I would say it's probably equal, objectively. Although maybe this is a problem. He has to be careful about that, so although he has b5, he has to try a6, and then you can go for bishop exchange. I mean, here also I have to listen to myself and say, look, I can't just generalize, I have to calculate more. f5, what? Knight d3, queen d3, bishop f5, queen g3, sorry. Well, that's calculation. Now you're talking. That's too strong. Wow. So that's serious. Alright, well, ask yourself this, what would Bobby Fischer do? Today I'm going to start studying Bobby Fischer games systematically. Maybe that'll be my inspiration for the Old People's Championship. What about pawn takes pawn? I mean, obviously white's better now. No, he doesn't want to give you access. Keep the knight here. Play pawn takes pawn. Oh, I'm sorry. You better be. So he played bishop takes. Pawn takes pawn is interesting. White is better. Bishop takes, rook takes. And now the e4 square. I'm going to be careful with my c4 pawn. There you go. Yeah, man, I mean, if chess is too hard, you should just try, like, Parcheesi or something. They have that in the Netherlands? How about bingo? If you're lazy, just play another game. I mean, alright. Yeah, it looks like you're better. Looks like you're better here. There is the other option of taking on e4. Then white plays knight takes e4, hitting d6. But I think a lot of black's problems came from the fact that he put his queen on d8. So you're slightly better. Holy hesitation, Batman. Yeah, black's gonna double up. I mean, you're better, but how much better? You know, it's almost like very little. There goes the file. Back rank mate, anyone? H3 is a good move. And now he goes for a trade of queens. He's also hitting c3. Are we overextended? Damn, dude. So what did you do here? You like took and played what? Rook d1? You took and played rook e3. Nice. So rook f1 check, king h2. This is getting kind of funky. And now black playing bishop d4. Holy shit. It's a draw by repetition. I mean, my impression was that you're slightly better, but all of a sudden... you're right on the verge of overextended. How did that happen? Oh, you mean here? He spent 45 minutes calculating this? Uh-huh. What's to calculate? Takes. Check. What do you do? Like queen h2? Queen h2? King h2? Bishop takes c3? d6 is falling? That's better. Okay, well, I mean, he has that at the minimum. Queen takes f3. So, like, queen g2, queen c3, and you're just, like, down a pawn. What I don't understand, why would he reject it if he had it? So it turns out h3 is a big blunder. I mean, obviously the problem is this, you know. The other problem is if you take here, you know, his bad bishop is actually stronger than your good knight. You know, again, you're like getting back rank mated. Even if you weren't, you're not better. Even if you have h3. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe b3 is even a mistake. What if you like take on e5 here? Takes. I mean, if he takes, you have that. If you take on e5, what does he do? Like rook takes rook, bishop takes e5, threatening queen h4. It's a freaking dangerous bishop on e5. But I still don't think you're really worse. What I'm having trouble with here is like, where did you lose the edge? You had bishop takes e5 here, for example. It's only equal. So the computer agrees with your play. Bishop takes b3. So I guess this position is critical. Now knight e4. No, I agree. Like bishop e5 is not really what we want to do. I'm just kind of bailing out. But anyway, we gave Nils his money's worth today. It's almost time to go. Let's see what happened. So bishop g3, bishop rook takes. I mean, yeah, you were better here somehow. You just like need one more move with knight e4. You're slightly better. Yeah, you should count yourself lucky to get a draw. Because honestly, like, yeah, you totally lost the initiative there. Alright, man. Interesting game. Hey, it's Miro. Been waiting forever for his game. Wow, thanks for the game, Nils. Yeah, I was thinking yesterday, we could play for trapping the queen, like mating the queen was the object of the game. Play for queen mate. Gotta take Miro out. We're going back to our A game. Thursday, subscriber stream. Yeah, Nils, I don't know. I mean, somewhere in that game, you were seriously better. Do it for me. Do it for my ex-husband. Alright, no, seriously, oh, you mean the game? The game versus Hey, it's Miro. One day I'll be strong. You're like the opposite of the other guy that was on the stream earlier, who said, like, I was strong at one point. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Strength is an illusion. What strength? What is Hey, it's Miro doing? Playing the white side of rarely played move order. Yes, if you have time after all I have played, could you look at it? Beckmate blood. Sumer. We probably won't have time though, because that sponsored analysis brought to you by Nils took up the whole stream. I got carried away, spending like 30 minutes on analyzing Nils' game in an already short stream. I have to leave by 10 minutes past the hour. Oh yeah, I had this already. We've had this already. I had this in like a correspondence game or something, and I think move 11 had this position before. Bean boozled. Yeah, I can't remember. Knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, pawn takes e4. Pawn takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4. I feel like it's this. Although I think like in the majority of my games, in the correspondence game I did like pawn takes e4 or something. e5 is also interesting. But I'm curious as to why like Hey It's Miro was playing this line. He must have got, I don't think he got to the chapter on this variation in his new book. I think like aggressive players are going to recommend like d4 here, like Morales has played against me. Well, Gina Rook, being a subscriber and all, you can and should take advantage of submitting a game for tomorrow night's stream. If we cannot analyze today, even if you can't be here, you know, you guys can always watch the replay. This isn't happening. Theoretical novelty. E5. Oh my god. You're so twisted to come up with that move. Truly sick individual to come up with a theoretical novelty. E5. Good day. Good day, bot. Bot. Do they say good day? Like, is that... I mean, I know that they say that everywhere in English-speaking countries. Good day. It's like an Australian, mostly an Australian thing. It seems like in modern times. In Hungarian, it's jó napot, which literally means good day. Knight f5, pawn takes f6, bishop takes f6. See, the problem is, like, I don't know what move to choose. Knight takes f3 on behalf of the materialists of the world. Knight takes f3, pawn takes f3, then what? What a move. Honestly, I'd be surprised if this has been played even on like lichess. Knight f5, pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn is an interesting idea. Knight f5, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. I have no idea. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. But let's not generalize. Knight takes e3, pawn takes g7, knight takes d1. That loses a piece. Knight takes e3, pawn takes g7, king g7. I mean, the obvious move is bishop takes f6. The problem is knight takes d5. And if I play, like, for example, bishop g7, wait, has knight f6 check. Bishop takes f6, queen d8. Does that even work? It doesn't even work. So bishop takes f6, knight takes d5, bishop g7. And then white moves the bishop again, like bishop g5 or something. Of course, he's worked all this out previously on our show. I was thinking of pawn takes. Pawn takes bishop c5. Because I just like being weird. And I like dark square bishops. Give me the dark square bishop. Oh man. Don't even think about it. Yeah, he comes up with these weird moves. Who would have even considered e5 in this position? I've had 2 games already with bishop takes d4, pawn takes e4. I think one of my students had it as well. Thanks for the donation from Nils. It was a pleasure to analyze his over the board game. After e5, you have no decent desperado. Yeah, I mean, the obvious try is knight takes f3. He recaptures. You know, I am better there structurally. I was really, really hoping for bishop c5. I had a nasty idea that probably doesn't work there. Nevertheless, it was interesting. If bishop c5, bishop h6, he has f4. I can't, like, skewer his queen. I could sack the exchange. Lots of dynamic possibilities. I'm used to playing the g6 rouser from time to time, where positions like this sometimes arise. What do you mean, positions like this? Who are you talking to? This fine Wednesday morning. I haven't spoken of politics. I believe in not jinxing oneself or anyone you love. Bishop c4. There it is. There it is. I was thinking of sacking my queen. Of course, this dynamic dog. Also fancy. Fancy cheese syndrome. Pawn takes, rook takes, rook takes. Because I want to lose to Hayes Miro again. You don't know how bad I want to lose to him again. You guys have no idea. I think this queen sack is playable, but it seems overly fancy. I have 15 minutes left, which means basically that I can play one more game. Wow, he went for this. Yeah, it's almost like when I play Hayes Miro, is it just me, or does he purposely play the weirdest moves, like on purpose? Purposefully on purpose. It's almost like he's trying to confuse his opponents by playing the move that you don't expect. Some people do that. I think Cheesy Noob does that on purpose. But I'm not sure if Hey It's Miro does it on purpose or just that's his natural style. Though I don't know what I expected there, to be honest. I guess I expected him to like move his queen off the file. Unique player. It's hard for me to play against people if I can't predict their moves. I put a lot of emphasis on anticipating my opponent's play. So when I get opponents who don't cooperate like that, it does make life hard. Particularly for me as a player. The other thing is like the time edge. He's quick for someone who comes up with amazingly weird ideas. It's not like he's just making like routine moves and being quick about it. He's playing interesting chess and quickly, which is not that easy to do. If you make stereotyped moves, anyone can play fast. But he's like playing moves I don't expect and doing it quickly. Relatively quickly. Though he does have a tendency to use time more in the end game, in positions where he's obviously not as confident. Relying on tactics here. Knight takes c5, not a good idea. Or rook takes d5. Rook takes d5 is better. Maybe rook takes d5 is actually playable. I shouldn't give him any ideas. Rook takes d5, bishop takes d5, queen takes e7, bishop takes a2 check, knight takes a2, queen takes b5. I guess black's just better there. Last game coming up against Sumaher. Then I gotta go. Only played one game against him. Yeah, imaginative moves. I've caught him doing some really awkward stuff sometimes. He has a tendency to... In the past, he's had a tendency to put his queen in strange positions from time to time. There's a kind of surprising move, right? Bishop a4. But again, I don't know what I anticipated there. That always helps. When you literally don't anticipate anything. Oh my god. Worse again. I totally don't know what's going on. I just like lose every game I play against him now. It's really weird. It's like a mind. I guess the biggest problem is how quick he is, you know? If he wasn't so quick, I could handle it, but I'm in very bad time pressure every time. mean, I'm pushing the envelope here way too much. I'm worse. Wow. Now he plays for a win. Logical, though. Mm-hmm. What? What is that? He's like a blitz genius, too. What the bleep just happened? Oh my god. Are you effing kidding me? Why would I even go there? I don't know, man. I'm like losing all confidence in myself playing against this guy. It's the fourth game I was like losing or worse in a row. That is an annoying move. What just happened? Okay, I get it. I was hoping to play one more game today. I never should have let him put his queen there. Yeah, I mean, it's winning for white. Don't you just go king c5 here? Wait. How did it go? King c5, rook e4. King d5. Right? I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but I think it's winning for white. I don't know, I played terrible against him. Look at this. Crazy position. Wow, I missed bishop e6. So this actually was played once before. It's also white's best move. Knight g4. Knight f5 is the best move. Takes, best move. King b1 novelty, and I didn't see this. I guess it saves the tempo. I really wanted your dark square bishop. I'm like winning. I was scared. And I had 38 seconds left. Queen a5 was dubious. It was like the best move according to the engine. And now I blundered with f5. Alright, interesting line. Last game, I gotta go. Used too much time. I used too much time. What are we gonna do? You're gonna play, let's play King's Indian. Mr. Coffee made it. Congratulations on your new governor and senator in the state of Pennsylvania. That's like a... Whew. We gotta ask Asbury what's up in Nevada, Mr. Coffee. What is up in Nevada, bro? Democrats really shouldn't lose Nevada. That is a cause for concern. Honestly, I don't know too much about that Senate race or the Nevada scenario. I think it's going to come down to, you know, another runoff in Georgia in December, and the Democrats will win. They get everyone out, you know, if it's like an existential vote. Yeah, it's time. Masturbate's right. Our alarm went off. Last game, guys. I gotta hurry up. I've got 10 minutes here. We gotta lose quickly. The tension is killing me. So, because there's like an independent candidate in Georgia, no one will reach 50%. And they'll have to have a runoff election in December again, like last time. It's actually a really stupid system. But I'm confident that they'll hold it. Election fraud. So, Democrats win Arizona, lose Nevada, win Pennsylvania, and then you've got to win, and they're probably going to lose in Wisconsin, and then you got to win in Georgia. Bishop E3. Yeah, what am I going to play here? A6? Is A6 a good move? So we won't even know like who controls the Senate until December. Imagine Herschel Walker as senator. Oh my god. That just can't happen. I was thinking about this the other day. You know, I just can't picture Herschel Walker being a senator. That would be too embarrassing. There's no way he can win. He cannot win. No, the Republicans will lose because they chose like stupid candidates. Imagine if they had like a good candidate in Georgia. It would be over for the Democrats now. Queen C2. You're obsessed with that move, bro. They should just like, I don't know, get O.J. Simpson to run in Nevada. I wonder if O.J. Simpson is a Republican or a Democrat. Can you run for Senate if you're a convicted felon? I actually don't even know. Wow, G4. Bring it on. Watch the diagonal if he tries the fianchetto. Though Sumair is not really a fianchetto style player. I'm gonna get me some diagonal. Let G4. O.J. Simpson for Senate in Nevada. Does he live in Nevada anymore? Felony takes citizenship to a low level. I like that. There's different levels of citizenship now. B4. B4 or not B4? That is the question. So knight on GD2. Guys, man, I'm late. I'm late for a very special date. Alice in Wonderland. White's setup doesn't look right. You know, this doesn't look right, but still not sure exactly. He did make the Kardashians a thing. Right. Sorry, Dr. Oz. I wonder if now, what will Dr. Oz do? Move back to New Jersey? Start a new TV show? Failed political candidate. What are you gonna do, Dr. Oz? I'm gonna go to Disney World with Tom Brady. You're not welcome at Disney World. And neither is Tom Brady. I'm gonna have to do this at some point. We gotta do something here. What about knight takes e4 and like c5 or knight takes e4 base tactics in general? Like c5. Goodbye, Dr. Oz. Man, all the like racists in Pennsylvania must be angry. It must suck being like the Ohio side of Pennsylvania. You know, being a racist or white, you know, white supremacist sort of person on the western fringes of rural Pennsylvania. Being jealous of all those people in Ohio who got their like favored white candidate in office. I wish we could live in Ohio where racist is a racist. Why do I want to do this? C5, can I do this? Damn. Ohio is just a lost cause. Who needs Ohio anyway? There's probably some good people in Ohio. Sorry, people. But you are in the minority. It's bishop d3. Who would have thought it? It's the Sicilian. What chess players are from Ohio? The only good one I can think of is Calvin Blocker. It's like the entire state has only ever had like one good chess player. That's kind of scary. Oh, knight c6, is that a legal move? You want to block my bishop? Alright. I'm taking the suggestion from the peanut gallery here. That's insane. Like, no grandmaster has ever come from Ohio, if you think about it. I mean, someone may have lived there at some point. Yeah, it's probably more of... it's probably, like, worse than Alaska. But Alaska just produces, like, far-right, Trump-supporting grandmasters. Of course. What else would you expect? Damn, you guys just keep... Gina just keeps suggesting good moves. Stop that. But at least Calvin Blocker is a good guy. Even though he was, like, a coach for Mark Esserman or something at some point, you know. Nobody's perfect. Another knight to d7. I could take on e4 there. That looks a little too crazy. Here we go with like two bishops versus two knights again. Damn. White is totally lost here. Lost figuratively and literally. I don't really want to let him, like, get away, though. No. Oh my god, man. Have you no sense of decency? That's so sick. Castles queenside. The first rule of chess is that you don't castle queenside in the Benoni. This wasn't really a Benoni, though. Although it's very Benoni-like. Sumaher just got, like, randomly, like, thrown into sort of position he never plays. Essentially the white side of a Sicilian, which is, like, wide open. Definitely not the place he wants to be. You definitely want to watch, like, Andy Soltis versus Sumaher. Or Sumaher Soltis. Oh my god. Once I saw this game at the Marshall, and it was the Manhattan Chess Club, Andrew Soltis was, like, destroying his opponent so bad I had to, like, cover my eyes. It was like a King's Indian. All the pieces were like this. It was very similar to this. Good lord, man. But where is the winning move? You can't do that. Rook A3 just isn't right. That isn't right, man. That's not right. Something not right about that. You can't do that. That's illegal. I'm really angry, you know. A lot of people have been beating on me today. The freaking Republicans. And we're going to take out our frustrations here on poor Sumaher. Oh, this is sick. Rook A3. You're like, what? Alright. I was talking about trapping the queen earlier. Queen mate. That, of course that was your move. It would be your move. Oh my god. This is the point. Now that is tasty burger. What are you gonna do now? Threatening, among other things, bringing in the rest of the reinforcements. Yeah, now we see how Heihatsmiro's brain works. Always playing for tricks. How many inner positions do you have? 1, 2. Oh, you're doing it immediately. Alright, was that the best move? Rook A3. Works. And that's why you don't castle in the Benoni on the queen side. My best game of the day. The white cooperated. White just let me have some fun here. I wanted to play Queen A5 at first. Yeah, Rook A3 is best. It's a funny move. Queen B4, Queen A8. But you're up a pawn. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night. Subscriber stream. Don't forget. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see y'all later. Bye. Bye.